fine light in the beautiful sea. I chose to be happy. You and I, we're like diamonds in the sky. You're a shooting star, I see, a vision of ecstasy. When you hold me, I'm alive. We're like diamonds in the sky.
So hey, what's up YouTube? So did social media trick us? Did they tell us lies? So stay tuned for this video. I'm going to tell you my experience traveling in the Philippines the last 6 years. So what's up YouTube? You know, I'm not here to tell you that the Philippines is the great vacationing spot, the greatest place to retire. It's cheaper. I'm just here to tell you my experiences and, you know, what I've been through. And I can relate to a lot of these other videos now out there on YouTube. But like my last experience, if you're new to the channel, I'm Jim. I'm married to a Filipina. We got 4 kids. We live on the island of Negros Oriental. Well, my wife and kids do. I'm still commuting back and forth from Michigan here. You know, if you've never been to the Philippines and you're dating a Filipina, this is the video for you. Or maybe you've just made one trip. You know, the biggest thing is, you know, once you book your flight and you get over to the Philippines, it's not all peaches and cream over there. There's a lot of stuff you need to know. The first thing is when you first arrive in the airport and you got to get a SIMS card. And, you know, you're already tired from the flight. You know, I come from Michigan, so I hit quite a few airports. You know, this last trip, and the thing is you don't want to have to go there and you got to get a SIMS card and put in the phone. You're going to wait in line. Maybe you don't wait in line. Maybe you do wait in line. You know, I just recently off this blogger, well-known in the Dumaguete area, but had moved from the Dumaguete area, this VPN, Sally, S-A-L-L-Y, Sally VPN. And I figured, you know what, I'm going to try this. Makes sense. You know, I get over there, I'm connected to the internet. You know, I can use the Google, I can use Grab, I can, you know what I mean? Google stuff, search stuff. Talk to my wife. I don't have to connect to that lousy Wi-Fi at the airport. Sometimes you can get it, sometimes you don't. So with the Sally VPN, I pre-got it like a week in advance, and it said everything was set up. When I arrive in the Philippines, it's going to connect, and all I can say is it didn't. It didn't work. So I'll never be using them again. You know, so you get to the airport, you're going to be, especially if you arrive in Manila, I really like Cebu. It's less stress, way less stress. If you can arrive in Cebu or Clark or Bacolod, you're going to, being your first time, it's going to be much easier. It's very overwhelming. I don't care how big you are, how tough you are. It's a different country, and it still gets me to this day. If I have to arrive in Manila, you know, the cab guys are going to be running up to you. Which one do you trust? Obviously, try to get a Grab. Sometimes the internet's not working. You're offline. You can't utilize that. So the next one's going to be a cab. And I don't care what anybody says. You're going to ask them, is it metered? Some of them are going to tell you, yes, it's metered. You see the meter in there. And I've had this happen to me one time. They take off, or he takes off. I get down the road and he hands me this sheet. I mean, what are you going to do? And here's these new updated prices, you know, 5,000 peso. You know, come on. I can catch a flight for under 2,500 peso to another island. And that's what I basically told them. So you're going to have to watch out for stuff like that. So it's going to be nice if you did meet a Filipina to make sure she's at the airport. It's going to make things go a lot smoother. If you have a Filipina by your side, they're not going to pull that crap. You know, and you know, it's just overwhelming. And then you got to just make sure that if she's on an island, let her get there maybe a day in advance and set her up in a hotel. They're cheap, especially in Cebu, because sometimes if she needs to take the boat ride over, she leaves that morning, there's a storm, the waves are too big, and she can't take the boat across. Because I have a buddy of mine now I met, he was a subscriber, he lives right down the road from me, and we became really good friends. And he had a situation like that. First time going over there, she was supposed to meet him, couldn't because of, things happen in the Philippines. It's like I said, it's don't get me wrong, it's a great country, it's their country. I come from America, it's totally two different worlds. So now you're going to most of you are going to head over to the province. And the majority of them are all going to live the same, especially if you met a Filipina and they're a little bit poorer. They're going to be living in a nipa-style hut that's got an open ceiling and no aircon, so it's going to be hot. They're going to be cooking from fire. And it's a little bit, it's cool at first, but over time, I couldn't imagine living there for like a year. My first time was 30 days back over 6 years ago. But it was neat. But I was drinking a lot of beers that night and sleeping like this with one eye open, wondering what's crawling on the ceiling. It's a little overwhelming when you come from a place that's, nice. I can run outside on my grass and my bare feet, and I really don't have to worry about stepping on nothing. There it's a little bit different world, the province. For you bigger guys, kind of like me, or you got guys, I see some of these Australians, 6'5". When you get into the province, it's just going to be buses, vans, and you ain't going to fit in a van. A lot of times you can ask them if you can sit in the front seat. So the Filipino that's in the front seat, a lot of times, give them extra 20 peso and they'll go sit in the back. The seats are small. Some of the buses there are small. You got these trikes. Think about it. Can you fit in one of these trikes? I have a hard time getting in some of the trikes, especially on the days with my RA and the humidity's up. It can be very overwhelming. And the thing too about living in the province is the lack of English. They speak English, but just communicating with other Americans, or maybe you're German or you're Australian, talking to people that really know how to speak English and understand English. It will get to you. It will get to you. I have a lot of friends that I've met now over the years living in the Philippines. My longest, I lasted 15 months. You could check out the video at the end of this. My very first video I posted, I was a hot, fucking fat, excuse my language, mess. And it didn't start off like that. It was basically the last 3 months. Just getting food down there, certain amenities, is going to get to you. You might want a nice, good burger. You might want chicken breast. Some of the places down there, you're not going to get chicken breast. You're going to get, you just can't get it. I got a subscriber buddy of mine right now that we're the same age. We know the same people. He trains at some of the same gyms I do. He knows the same people I know. He's a great guy. He's going through, like when he went to that island he was on, he couldn't get beef. He couldn't get chicken breast. They just, Manolia chicken just didn't go there. So he got stuck eating like Jollibees and McDonald's, foods that he doesn't normally eat. And, that's a big thing. So think about living in the province compared to a little bit here. I'll talk about like the condo life, the bubble. But, in the province, you're going to run into, it's going to start off okay. For some of you, like you said, like I said, this is my opinion, and, what you like, I might not like, and what I like, you might not like. And it's just how it is. This is just my experience. On top of the brownouts, I didn't mind the roosters going off all night long. It's like when one rooster goes off, they all go off. And then you can hear them in the wilderness, all the way up into the jungle. They just go off, 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 off. You got the wild dogs, the barking, the no water, just the sanitation, feces. People dig canals, and the feces from the pig houses run right into the canal that goes right along the road. This is just stuff you're going to have to deal with. Trash all over the place in most areas. you know. They're drinking a pop, they're eating their little chips, they just throw it on the ground, throw it on the road, throw it out the window. It's just how it is. But the biggest thing, if you're living in the province, is going to be the lack of communication for me. I found and still to this day, my kids know now to speak a little more English. It's different when I'm short term. If I'm on vacation with them, they're all speaking. They all speak pretty good. But there was a time there where, you know, or friends or their friends or relatives come up and they're speaking in Visaya, and I'm constantly going, hey, what did they say? What did they say? Sometimes, it grows on you. It gets on you, and I'm just being honest. This last trip, me and my wife, actually, we had some issues. And like any marriage, I've never been married here. Over all the years, no kids. My first marriage, I kind of, instant family. She had 4 kids. And, I fell in love with the kids. I met them. They were so small. They're growing up now. One's in college. Another one's starting college here this summer. It's cool. Is it easy? No, it's not easy, but it's still rewarding. It's still rewarding. My biggest thing is as long as the woman doesn't cheat, and we have these other issues, those can be worked on. Cheating for me is just a no-go. So, the bubble, I call the bubble, is any city in the Philippines, and they got many of islands, 7,000 some islands, but a lot of them are, no running water. Maybe obviously some people never even been to the islands. But the big major cities, Luzon, that they got the capital there, Manila. Cebu, there's Siquijor, there's Bohol, Palawan, a lot of islands. Majority of them are going to have what I call the bubble. Like Cebu's got the IT Tech or IT Park. You got Lapu-Lapu, Mactan Newtown. I actually like that. I still want to check out Iloilo, but I really like, because I can catch my flights there. The airport is phenomenal. It's easy. You're through it quick. You can get right to, they have lots of, right by the airport there. I don't have to, take 45-minute ride into Cebu. Right there, I got my condos. I have the nice gyms. I can get the decent foods. Hospitals close by. There's a mall that's nice. It's inexpensive for me. 25 to say $40 a night. If you go long term, you can obviously get cheaper. I know people there, $22,000 for rent, but it's a 1-year lease plus electricity. It's cheap. It's definitely cheap. I definitely like it there for vacationing. Because, to take a family, 4 kids, me and my wife, we can vacation for a long time. We can vacation for a month. Here in the United States, take them to Disneyland, fly from Michigan to Florida, spend a week, I don't know, $12,000 maybe. 6 of us fly in there and back, hotels, food, rent a car, probably 12 grand. 12 grand in the Philippines, goes a long ways. Goes a long ways. I can tell you that. We can vacation on 12 grand. Could take the family. We could vacation if the kids could get out of school for a whole year. You know what I mean? I already know the nice resorts you can go to that are cheap, fun. 12 grand. Not quite a year, but you can go a long time vacationing on $12,000 in the Philippines. I think the condos, this is another issue. You go down there and you rent a house. When you leave, you got to remember, eyes, they're always watching. The Filipinos, it's a poorer country, and I hate using that word, they're always watching. When I take off on the motorcycle, by the time I get to another town, I already know they're texting. Oh, there goes that American. He's heading this way. I get into another town, they're all related. People ask me, what's your wife's, name? The Filipino name, last name, and I mention it, and, oh yeah, they all know. You can go 3 towns down. I run into people in Dumaguete, my wife, we run into relatives, it's weird. But they're all connected somehow. I guess kind of like hillbillies or rednecks are too. But if you rent a house, like I said, eyes are on you. I mean, it's just like any country. You'll probably get broken into. Depends where you're at. In a condo, you got the security guard up front. You know, they open the doors for you, greet you. You know, you got to get into the elevator. You know, you go up to whatever floor and you get in. They're going to be a little bit, or a lot safer. A lot safer. So, you know, the Philippines, it's a different world. You know, and some of these YouTubers, like I said, back in 2020 when COVID came out, this is where a lot of channels took off. And, you know, they're down there, and I get it. You know, for a lot of you older guys, 65, 62, whenever you could retire, it could be a better place because you're in the bubble, you're by a hospital, you got your little expat community, and I get it. Where Dumaguete, you fly in, that's a real small airport. That's actually another nice airport. You're in, you land, you're out of it so quick. It's not chaotic. You got a few trike guys out there. You don't got, you know, thousands hound you like Manila. That's I don't care for that airport. That gets ridiculous. If you don't have any patience or you're having a bad day, just imagine all these people coming up, hanging on you, trying to pull on your arm. I mean, I'm sure, well, I already know. I've talked to a couple expats. You know, they've done some stupid stuff down there. But, I mean, you can only take so much. But, you know, you need to be around those people. You do. So I get it. You know, but what's happening now is some of these areas are getting so flooded with expats, and you're getting expats, you know, these are foreigners that are going to retire or they just stay over there a long time. They're bringing their bullshit, whether they're a full-blown alcoholic, drug addict, just an a-hole, and they go over there, and I've seen it. You know, the way they treat the women, you know, they start getting drunk, and they feel like they're somebody over there, you know. They're king shit, you know, and I don't want to be around those kind of people. But this last experience in Cebu, I can see where it could be a good retirement place. You know, unfortunately, I still like the province life. I really like the mountains, but I want to be close to a hospital. So I got many a years, me and my wife. You know, we're going to take our time and find that right, if there ever is, the perfect location. But I still like being in, I like land. I don't want to be close by other people. The condos are good for a while, you know, but I couldn't live in a condo the rest of my life. I need a house with like a swimming pool, you know, have my own little gym where I can work out in the morning. Got to have a swimming pool. And that's just me. And I deserve it, and that's what I want. You know, for you, I can see where, or some of you people, where the condo life, you know, could work out for you. Now, having a condo on the side, that maybe you got a place that you like to go vacation or something. Maybe you want to rent it out, maybe you don't. I really don't like to rent stuff out. I don't want somebody sleeping on my bed and stuff like that, or damaging stuff. Not even so much damaging stuff. It's just knowing somebody's in my, taking a, using the bathroom, you know, sleeping on the bed. That's just not me. But, yeah, you know, the Philippines, patience. Just remember, you got to remember this. Whatever you plan out for that day, whether you're going to go jump on a bus or you rent a cab and you're heading, you got to go to some port to take a boat across, or maybe you got to book a flight. Majority of the time, a lot of stuff just doesn't work out, you know. Things happen over there. Now it's just funny. Me and my wife or kids, we plan stuff out. We'll plan this, and then we say, hey, if this doesn't work, then we're going to do this. You know, just going to the bank. Going to a bank is a process. I mean, it's like over here, the Secretary of State, except you got a line outside. You got a line outside. Then when you get inside, you get a number. And it's up to like 50 people. I mean, that's what I've seen. So, you know, you go sit in this chair and you got this little sign with your number on there. Oh, I'm number 25. And then when you do get called up there, you don't just go up there. Let's say you want to withdraw money, you get the money right away. No, you go in this line, then you fill out this information, then you go sit back down, and then you wait to get called again, which is a little bit quicker. You go in the other line, and then I think you go to one more before you get your money. But it's a process. Everything over there it's a freaking process. It's funny now. Now I just laugh about it. Before I used to get kind of overwhelmed and angry. I used to get a little bit angry. My wife used to tell me, "Don't. This is just how it is. Don't let them bother you." Renting a scooter. Honestly, if you get over there, just like the Sally thing, VPN I used, seems like a lot of this stuff doesn't work. And if any of you guys know a good VPN, send it in the comments because I'll try it out. Because this one really ticked me off. I was getting real angry. I'm like, God dang it, good vlogger. But I'm like, why didn't mine work? And it said it's activated, ready to work. If you go to rent these scooters and stuff, man, it's not safe. The biggest thing is you got to remember a lot of these people in the Philippines, they don't have a driver's license, and the ones that do get a driver's license, they got fixers. A fixer is when they go to get their license, they need to take like a road test and learn how to drive a vehicle. They don't. They have somebody else take the test, and they get their license that day. I've seen so many accidents down there. I got the motorcycles, the scooters. I quit riding them. I mean, will I sneak on it again once in a while? Probably, but I'll make sure I got a helmet on, gloves, boots, and I'll ride really slow, safe. Go in the morning. We've been hit from behind. You don't want to be over there in the Philippines, especially as far as I travel, 12,000 miles, and you get in an accident, and then you got this insurance that's supposed to cover you, because some of the hospitals don't take a credit card, where you got that backup. Maybe you got a credit card, you could charge a freaking car on there, I don't know. But over there, they don't take it. So, maybe your debit card's not working. You're not getting a signal. I've had that happen, just stupid stuff happens. They need money. You need a surgery. You send your significant other. Maybe you have a girlfriend. You got a wife. You send her over to the ATM, and there's no money. I've had that happen lots of times. No money. Or to eat your card. And then it takes, that's another story. But, were we tricked? I think in 2020, when YouTube really took off because of COVID, everybody's sitting on the couch, drinking coffee, drinking beer, I don't know, drinking Pepsi, eating pizza. There was nothing to do. The country was locked down. I think they made it a little more overwhelming because now I'm seeing a lot more, it seems like the truth, a little bit more, just on the land, buying land, getting scammed, buying this, the landlords, when they see a foreigner, we've had this happen, if I'm with my wife, and I know this, you just send your wife, but eventually, my wife's name carries my last name now, so they know the last name. Oh, that's a foreigner's last name. So it really doesn't matter, especially if you're married. They want to charge more, but what I tell, if I get anybody like that wants to charge me more, I just tell them, I'll go do my business somewhere else. Bye. I don't give them the time of day. I just turn around and say, yeah, thank you. Good luck. Call me when your land doesn't sell. You got my number when you want to give me a fair price, and I just walk away. But anyways, the Philippines is, you got to learn patience, learn a lot of patience. And I'm getting excited. We're getting ready to head. I'm getting ready to head to the Philippines in May. I'm going to spend quite a while down there. And then we might take the trip to Vietnam, me and my wife. But I'm meeting my friend that I met that lives not far from me. We've already met up and talked. And he's got a really good story too. And he's a normal dude. He's got a great job. He's just met a Filipina. They're his fiance. They're in the process. She's going to be coming to America, so he's going to help me out, because originally I was going to pay an attorney to do it, because I had originally tried on the fiance visa, then I ended up getting married, so all the paperwork I filled out, I basically had to throw away. We're going to go do some traveling together, because his biggest thing is man, I got nobody to talk to. And then, you know, he wants, you know, we have everything in common. He loves to work out. The guy's in phenomenal shape. Same age. We like the same things. So it's going to be really cool. You know, Dexel and I, him and his fiance, we can travel and just be ourselves and show you guys the true Philippines. Because this last trip, there was a lot of stuff I wanted to do, but I just couldn't do it. The blogging was a little bit harder. Me and my wife just kind of wanted to have a honeymoon we never had, and then I'm trying to blog, and I just couldn't get into it. And so I know this next trip, we're going to focus on that. So anyway, stay tuned for the next video. I hope this can help out some of you. The Philippines is okay. You older guys now, I mean, if you live in the bubble, I see where you can live cheaper. You can definitely live cheaper, and then you can definitely get a girlfriend a lot easier. A lot easier. Especially if you treat them nice and you treat them with respect. And then you got to make sure, too, when you're in the bubble, make sure they don't have no junk in the trunk. Because I see a lot of, and not to knock any of you ladyboys out there, but a lot of the Americans that are going down there, they see a pretty girl, but they don't realize that they got some junk in the trunk. And I had this Canadian guy pointed out to me. I didn't even realize it. You know, I'm like, no way, that's a girl. He's like, no, it's not. I go, well, how would you know? Because I guess he confronted her. But so anyway, stay tuned to the next video. Thank you.